Believers, season 3 of Lucha Underground is in the books. And we're here one last time for season 3 to talk to you about Ultima Lucha Tres Part 4. So stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
So long. Woo! Did we find the right cue?
We got it.
We got it. Flying Luchamen.
Oh boy. Guys, we're here one last time. The whole family's back together,
Yay.
as they should be. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is the Lucha Underground After Show right here on AFTERBUZZ TV for the final time of Season 3. We're talking Ultima Lucha. We're talking Ultima Lucha Tres Part 4, the very last episode of the season. My name is Ty Matthews. You guys can find me online on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. Joining me as always, to my left, the effusive, the effervescent. You can find her online at www.com/www.snarled.com. Rachel, Sam Evans are in Slave Evans, and Breakers. God, it's Rachel Evans. Woo! Woo! And to her left, to Rachel's left, we missed him so dearly.
Man.
Usually he's in the booth, but on this show he's in the studio. Yay. You can find him online at Jimbo in the booth. Guys, it's James Franck.
Hi. I'm sorry I was gone. I was at bar wrestling, filming bar wrestling. And
right.
Then I flew to New York. I was at New York Comic Con.
Really? Boy, you're almost tired.
Amazing. Yeah.
Oh boy. And guys, joining us in the booth on the ones and twos, our very favorite person on the planet. Guys, welcome Steve on the booth in the booth. Steve, where are you?
Hello, kids.
There you are.
That was
we love
creepy
Steve. We love Steve so much, but we do want to give a shout out to our boy Mark B. Donica. We miss him so dearly.
Love you, Mark.
Our favorite soggy booth boy.
Soggy booth boy. This show, 100% without hyperbole or cliche, would definitely not be the show that it is without Mark B. Donica. We miss him so much.
100%.
He is here with us in spirit. He's alive. He's not dead, but he's just elsewhere. He is not in these studios right now. But we will attempt to do him justice.
The studios.
The studios. We'll attempt to do him justice, and all of you guys talking about this final episode of Season 3 of Lucha Underground. So let's get into it. Let's get into the steel cage match between Dragon Azteca Jr. and the Monster Matanza.
I'm just still reeling from MCR.
I know. Rachel and I bonded over our love of My Chemical Romance before the show went live.
Oh my god, I will always pop for it.
100%, absolutely.
Still horny after all these years.
Still horny. It's been over a decade since that album came out.
What? Shut your stupid face.
No.
Ew.
You feel old?
Ew.
That Black Parade dropped in 06.
Oh no.
06.
Oh no.
Even Danger Days was 7 years ago.
Oh no.
It was a danger day for Azteca getting thrown through that cage.
He got dinked right through the cage.
He got dinked right through that rank.
Is that another song?
No, that was just what Rachel said when she saw it happen.
He threw him and I was like, dink.
He got dinked right through the cage.
Deke. Not to be confused with Deke.
Right.
That used to play at the end of
He
our
had dinked
TV
it.
shows.
What?
Do you remember that?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Who was that?
Deke for the ad.
Oh,
at the end
yes.
of the shows.
Oh yes, dick.
You know.
Yes,
Dick.
I understand.
Without the K.
Dick.
Lots of
Exactly how
lots
it's
of pizza DDTs as
The one on the outside.
as we saw. Yep.
Holy cow.
I can't
Holy cow
even
and chicken.
think about this match.
I know. That a lot happened in this episode. Obviously.
Dragon Azteca just assaulting Dario, just ripping his clothes off.
Thank you very much, Shao Kahn. I was hoping you'd make an appearance.
And
That
then-
was a good time for that because
then
that was a very sexual moment for everybody.
Oh yeah.
He gets up and his shirt is ripped open, his jacket's ripped off. He just has his bow tie.
His little
The
bow
bow tie. He just
And
looks
also-
like the hairiest Chippendale dancer.
No, not the hairiest. Did you see Chris Farley? Very hairy.
Classic.
Was he hairy at all?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And Patrick Swayze had just
He might have been.
perfect
He
chest hair.
might have been freshly shorn.
Yeah. Whoa. But no, Dario had the perfect amount of chest hair.
Yes, he did. He did.
Look at your little bottle.
Gotta stay on brand.
Guess where he got that?
Stay on brand, everybody.
Yeah,
Where'd
can
you
we
get
talk
that?
about that? Can you tell us about that experience?
We can talk about it a little bit. They in LA, there's a thing called 40X. I mean, it's it's in the other parts of the country, but they aired or they screened the finale of Lucha Underground this episode in 4DX at the LA Live Cinema in downtown LA over by the Staples Center. And so the seats were moving, and during the more bloody parts of the episode, which we'll get to, there were sprays of water and fog during people's entrances. It was very, very cool.
Nuts.
Very, very cool. Shout out to Lucha Underground. Shout out to BWR Publicity for hooking us up with cool stuff.
And a big shout out to my bosses who wouldn't let me leave that day. Big shout out to you guys. Really appreciate that. Yeah. I'm really glad that I live streamed WWE 2K18 for 3.5 hours. It was really worth it.
Be sure to go to Slaytrix, www.youtube.com/Slaytrix.
Hey, quick thing. Don't forget to put in HTTPS.
It's very
because if you
important.
put in HTTP, then the government can track you.
I love this part.
That's a new drop.
That was
a good one.
terrifying.
That's incredible. I like it. So what else did we see? So eventually
We saw Dragon Azteca just getting hucked.
Hucked all over
as
the
if
place.
it was a nunchuck.
Right.
Is
it
that
was
a word?
Chucking
right.
everywhere.
He's getting hucked,
He
you
was
know.
getting pumpkin chunking.
But eventually
That
you.
was perfect.
just lobbed it right to you, Steve. Knocked it out of the park.
I think the big
We're a real morning
takeaway
zoo.
from this match was that highest of high crossbodies from Lotus.
Well, we'll talk about that. Let's get into it. The return of Black Lotus.
Lotus.
I don't believe we had seen her since that gauntlet match that Pentagon took on against the Black Lotus Triad.
Correct.
But she hits a huge crossbody from the top of the cage onto Dragon Azteca Jr.,
Amazing.
leading to Matanza hitting the Wrath of the Gods for the win. But she's not quite done. She gives Matanza a low blow, power bombs him off the buckles, gets into Dario's face about being a liar. Oh, we should have come in on Henry Rollins. You're a liar.
Wait, why is he a liar?
Because he told her that Azteca killed her family.
Right, which is why she killed
rude.
Dragon Azteca Sr. But he's a big ol' fibber.
A lie.
Dario's a big ol' fibber.
Oh, I know
Lies,
it. Well,
Dario.
Yeah.
was.
So the delivery of "You're right, I am a liar," and then you just see
know.
Matanza like towering over
Amazing.
from behind.
The whole the cinematography of this entire episode was pretty on point.
This
good.
episode was friggin' gorgeously shot for
Sure
sure.
was.
Between not only just the backstage vignettes, which we will definitely cover, but the in-ring action as well.
You know what I bet happened that is not based in any sort of education?
What's that?
I bet Robert Rodriguez was like, I got this one.
I got this guy.
I got this, guys. Leave it to me.
That would have been pretty awesome.
I love how she went to. It looked like she went to punch Dario.
Right.
And she elbows Matanza, and he just looks at her.
Mm-hmm.
He likes her.
Choke slams her into the Wrath of
Grabs her
Gods.
by the throat, pops her up, catches her in the Wrath of the Gods.
Exactly.
Thank you, Dan Forden. Slams her
No
right
cheesing.
right on the center of the Aztec seal.
Yeah, accurate.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Oh, good stuff.
They should have cut
Good
to
stuff.
the high camera for that.
But
Oh man,
That would have
absolutely.
been beautiful.
I mean, that was just one of those moments that was like, oh, hi, welcome back. I'm happy to see you, I guess.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see her more. I would have
Right.
loved to see her in a... There were no women in matches tonight.
Not tonight.
Oh, not tonight? Like, oh, whatever, not to...
Well, no,
the last-
because Ultima Lucha is a 4-part event, and we
I
had
know,
we
but-
had Evilise versus Katrina and Taya versus Sexy Star.
Oh, we had those too, so I guess we could be done. You're right. No, I mean...
Who else is there?
Well, I mean, they could have at least thrown in one, maybe even intergender match for the last episode of the entire season.
Why?
Because I'm a woman and I appreciate representation.
They've
in
had
television.
intergender matches all season.
Yeah, but you're speaking... Okay. I'm saying as a woman, I would have liked to see an intergender match in the last episode. Or at least a woman
There were only
fighting
there were
in the
only
last
3 matches on the entire episode.
No, I know.
And
It's
it's
just-
a 4-part event.
I understand. I'm just speaking my piece.
This was like 15 matches, all part of one
I
show.
feel you.
I just
when
remember
we had
being at the
two matches
taping,
with
and
women.
the Taya Sexy Star match was when they filmed this. The matches that were
Yeah.
aired tonight were shot the same as that match, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
No, it makes
so
sense.
it kind of all went together for
Right,
me.
right,
and in
right.
my head, I was wondering how it was going to break apart.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so many strong women in the temple, and I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know.
So
I think there
you
was a big battle royal. It just didn't make TV.
Right,
It
right,
was
right,
more
right,
of just
yeah.
like, hey, this is
Well,
everyone
there was
here.
no. They did air that. The one that Mac won.
No.
Oh, a different one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I think it was just like, hey, everyone's here.
Right. So would you have preferred, like, legitimately, would you have preferred them to do intergender matches instead of the female versus female matches that they did?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, especially since they didn't seem to make any sense and were kind of lackluster to me.
They were kind of lackluster, but I didn't
think Sexy Star and Taya made any sense whatsoever.
They had been feuding most of the season.
I know, but not really. Like, Taya hasn't been feuding really with anybody.
She has with Sexy Star. Remember the brass knuckles?
I would have much preferred to see Sexy Star and Mariposa for some reason.
They had like no involvement this season.
I know. I'm just speaking my truth.
No, you are. I'm asking about it.
No, it's not about intergender. It's just like, oh, it was the last episode of the entire season, and there like was almost no female involvement.
Disappointed.
That's all I'm saying.
But
perfect time.
Taya was the one that made the whole movie, and then Sexy Star. We also saw her at the end of the episode.
No, I know. Like you know.
And Katrina had a big part as well.
Part.
Definitely. Yeah. Although
they
I wish
they all walked next to men.
I would have liked to see more of Katrina and Vasquez. I was expecting to see more of that story.
Oh, shooters.
Right?
Shooters.
See, that would have been cool. Anything with Black Lotus Tribe would have been cool.
But one of them is signed to WWE now.
Oh, okay. I was confused on whether or not that was her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kairi Sane was formerly 1/3 of the Black Lotus Triad. One of them, I believe, is retiring, and one of them is in Japan.
I just loved all of their aesthetics so much.
Oh, they were fantastic.
Oh my god,
absolutely.
They all had their own like thing.
They
were like Fox Force 5, but there was only 4 of them.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Fox Force 4.
Right. They were a 4-person triad.
And one of them
they were like
was
the Lone Rangers.
I have short hair, and then the other one's like, I have medium hair, and then the other one was like, have you seen my long hair?
I have grande hair.
Yeah, grande hair, and then the other one's like, I also have short hair, but don't worry about it. We all have our own thing.
Right. Well, speaking of triads, let's talk about this triple threat match. Rachel, tell us your thoughts on this match.
Oh, yikes. So many yikes. This was, I haven't done this
blood.
Since, blood.
Lots and lots of blood.
Oh my God.
I haven't done that, what I did out there watching Lucha since season 2.
Rachel reacted to a lot of the spots as if she was on like a David Blaine Street Magic special.
I wanted to punch everything
by just like
face.
Leaving the general area.
That's kind of funny.
Especially when those skewers came out.
Oh no!
And then went in.
I walked away and I faced the wall and I was like, no.
And then it turned into the Blair Witch.
But then I paused the show until she turned back around.
It's just torture porn. I mean, that was insane.
It was pretty graphic.
The skewers part itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. God. Yeah.
Well, and especially,
itself,
I wasn't expecting it, but especially the DDT with that one lone skewer left in his head.
So get over here! Yeah, he jabs as many in his head.
Lets them kind of fan out a little. Hits him with a super kick.
Kicks him in the face. Several fly out. There's one left, and he DDTs him. And I've seen Masada do that to Christina Von Eerie.
Right.
And anyone who takes a DDT with things in their head, don't put that in your mouth.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how, you being a wrestler, have you ever taken a bump kind of?
Never anything like skewers.
Dude.
Actually, ironically enough, I accidentally took my first thumbtack bump on Saturday night.
What happened?
How do you accidentally take a bump at thumbtacks?
Not to get on too much of a tangent, I was performing in a little show that I formerly co-produced that I now perform in called Jacked Wrestling Comedy at the Pack Theater in Hollywood. And Leroy Patterson, it was his birthday a couple days prior. Leroy is known as the human tack board for his thumbtack bumps. And during one of his earlier segments in the show, some of his thumbtacks accidentally fell out of his pants, of his pocket.
Oh.
And so it was a handicap match with me versus him and Sexy Chino. And at one point...
Dance, Chino, dance.
At one point I took a bump, and then I got up and I saw a thumbtack sticking out of my forearm. I was like, oh, that's new.
Did it hurt?
Not at the time,
When you fell from heaven, did it hurt?
Yeah. Are your legs tired? Because you've been running through my mind all day.
Let me check your tag.
So
Made in heaven,
so I had
I
had to very
fill your holes, your thumbtack holes.
I had to very carefully kind of like sweep the tacks from the stage before resuming.
I can't. I'm grabbing everything. I can't. I can't with this match.
Also, the pane of glass that we saw.
Okay,
Also-
the best part of that whole thing was him bringing it out. Because when Mill ran into it, it was kind of like, oh, it's done. But
It
watching
wasn't-
him drag it out and the blood just smeared on
And
it.
pressing
face.
his bloody face against it.
Well, we were trying to
Bravo,
figure out
Sammy.
yeah, for real. We were trying to figure out when he got busted open.
No, yeah, I was wondering that too.
We couldn't
because there was
tell.
the big dives.
Right.
Cage dives. A cage dive. Cage dive and then a mill dive.
Sure.
And then Sammy came out from behind the table and he was just crimson masked.
It
Yeah.
was just bloody boy.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what it was because
Yeah.
we
Probably
knew
just
I didn't
stabbed
know what it
himself
was
in the
we
either.
knew
face real
Cage
quick.
we knew Cage was from the skewers. We knew Mill was from spearing the pane of glass.
Yeah.
But so much blood in this match.
So much
Maybe
blood.
he just bleeds on the outside of his skin, and we didn't know.
Karate Man
Sure.
bleed
Yeah.
on the inside.
Oh God!
What else? We saw a superplex from Brian Cage, superplexing Jeremiah Crane from inside the ring to the outside on top of Mil Martes through two tables.
Also, I
Holy
have to say, one
shit.
of the most powerful entrances I've seen. Jeremiah Crane,
Yes.
just straight faced, straight down the barrel of the camera.
Well, with
walking down.
exactly, we were talking about
Crazy.
how money his facial expressions are, and like
crazy.
how much worth there is in just him remaining stoic and like
Yeah.
looking all business, and then us actually believing it.
I believe him.
Right.
Oh, I believe him. Oh boy.
What else? So many kicks to the face in this match.
I truly couldn't
so
tell
many
you.
dives. Low tope from Jeremiah Crane. Huge tope con hilo from Cage.
Okay, wait.
And then
Tope con hilo.
yes,
Tope con hilo.
Over.
Oh, I love that,
that
boy.
one. That one.
That one.
And then
Is that what it's always called?
yeah.
Wow, crazy.
And then a high crossbody from Mil Muertes off the top to the outside.
It's like they don't know how
flying
big
head
they
scissors
are.
on the outside from Mill.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Right.
It's all of them.
The Acai moonsault from Cage also.
Yeah. The lion salt. Mm-hmm.
What? Okay, cool.
Yes, not Acai moonsault. The lion
What
salt.
was that? What was that one move towards the end that Mill did? Super fast.
Oh, the power slam.
Was that just a power slam?
It was just a power
I thought he
slam.
like.
It was a power slam.
Wow,
Yeah.
fasty boy.
Yeah. It was like a Randy Orton style snap power
Snap
slam.
power slam.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes.
His body's just going in the motion.
Yeah.
It's none of them understand how big they are. They're all like labs. They're all like not like where you make science.
Well, and we were one of the things that I was telling Rachel about while we were
can't
watching
rebuild him.
is how Jeremiah Crane used to be Cannonball Callahan, and he
Yeah.
was much bigger than he is now.
Yeah, go YouTube him versus Nigel McGuinness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Dude.
Nigel
he-
McGuinness?
Yeah, and Sammy's like
Where?
t-shirt wearing Sammy.
Yeah,
is-
probably CZW. I imagine.
I think it was even before then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Oh wow.
I gotta see him as a big boy.
Yeah.
I
Thick
got
boy.
to because it's hard to imagine.
Right.
Because I've only ever seen him as Space Cat.
Yeah.
He's the master of the bicycle kick. I think.
Oh my God, we saw so many in this match.
He just every
Is that
time the pump kick.
That's a little pump kick. Yeah.
He's so good at that. So you're right. So many kicks to the face.
Even the
Relentless.
face wash in the corner with the two of them stacked
that?
up, where he like
Oh.
runs and he just boots you in the face in the
Oh,
corner.
I didn't love that.
Yeah.
I didn't love any of the three-way corner stuff that they were doing. When Mill was like uppercutting Sammy and whatever.
When Cage was doing it to
Cage
Mill
was
and-
doing
and-
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't
It
look
didn't. Well,
impressive.
it didn't look nearly as impactful as the rest of the match did.
Also, they were all like bloody and had
Right.
just gone through glass and yeah, exactly.
right.
Exactly.
Well, the clotheslines were before all of that.
Who knows?
They were.
Like, who would know? Who could possibly follow this match?
They were.
I know Weapon X is what took out.
Yes.
Crane.
Yes,
What's
and
that?
usually I'm not a fan of that move,
when he-
but they're
You
back to
can't-
back in
Oh,
a
when
gory
he's
special.
like-
Yeah.
And then he goes like this.
Oh yeah, that was okay.
Right.
I just didn't like that Crane was gone. I thought that was bad storytelling. I thought he should have won.
I didn't
Yeah.
necessarily think it was bad storytelling.
I thought-
As a
Really?
fan, I would have liked to see him stick around, but storytelling wise, like I see the appeal in keeping Cage and Muertes as like the clash of the Titans for the end.
Yeah, he just would have been so cool with it. But I see now why. Like, if Crane would have won and had it taken away from him,
Right.
so quickly,
Right,
I would
right.
have been pissed.
Well, and let's talk about that. So Mil Muertes eventually gets the win. Forgive me, I completely forgot how he won because I was so distracted. Yeah.
Hold on, what did I write?
Did Katrina help him?
Continue.
I can't
Katrina didn't help him.
Oh, Cage goes for something with the chair. The chair's in the ring, and he hits the flatliner on the chair.
Got it. Oh, and then Jeremiah Crane came in after he was eliminated.
Yeah.
Did some
kind of
chair antics. Yeah.
Maybe he's the one that drops the chair.
Yes.
Crane drops the chair.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So eventually, Mil Muertes gets the win, wins the gauntlet that the three of them had been battling for, but oh my gosh, he goes to hit that superhero pose in the middle of the seal. Lights go out.
Well, Katrina goes and gets it.
Right,
and
she goes and gets it.
And she's the one handling it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
touching it. I was like, oh shit, what if she
That's
just bones out?
That's
with it?
100%.
Oh, I thought she was
That's
gonna put it
100%
on.
what I thought was
She
going to happen.
picks it up and just snaps her
because-
fingers
Right.
and just disappears.
I thought she was going to take it and give it to Sammy.
Oh.
Give it to Crane, yeah.
That would have been interesting, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they even made it, Stryker and Vamp even made it a point to be like, well, she's the one taking it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right.
But, I mean, soon we
So,
find out. Ooh.
right. So eventually, she hands it to, I keep wanting to say Matanza. She hands it to Mil Muertes, hits that superhero pose, the lights go out. When they come up, King fucking Cuerno.
Oh, my
man.
gosh.
Who wants a twist?
Oh my god, I lost my mind for this.
you?
Yes, no, he did.
King
Wow.
Cuerno is my... Oh my god, he's so dope.
He looks stronger than ever, too. He looks so strong to me.
He's
Right.
got the gauntlet. Of course.
Well,
but
yeah.
now he does.
Also tanned. Very
He's
tanned.
very, very tan. Yeah.
Very
Came
tan
back
boy.
from vacation.
Yes. Very tan, very lithe, very tall.
Ready
just a
to
strong
be
boy.
a god.
Just a strong boy. Hits the thrill of the hunt on Mil Muertes right in the middle of the ring.
Nails Katrina.
Oh my god, just body slams her. Doesn't even doesn't punch her, doesn't hit her with his finish, just straight up body
Picks up-
slam.
Chuck down.
Right.
Yeah.
Sack of potatoes.
That's what you got to do with Death Incarnate.
Right.
You have to body slam
Who
it.
was rocking some pretty dope hair, as we saw.
She looked good.
She looked real good.
She looked good. Oh my god. Yeah, her hair was insane in a good, happy way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Carly with the good hair.
Carly with the good hair.
you know?
She's
I
got
want a
such
Lucha
cool
Underground
boobs.
calendar.
Right? How is that not a thing?
How is that not a thing?
How is that
Right?
not a thing? Hop on
Whoa.
Whoa.
that. I just want a free one.
Let's make money moves, y'all.
So that's what we've got. King Cuerno absconds with the gauntlet in tow. Next, we see the film that Taya has been shooting almost this entire season, which it's genius that it actually that we saw it.
Came to
That we
fruition.
saw because we kept seeing in so many different vignettes and different segments her with that camera.
It's also nice. It's nice that they followed through on this
Right,
thing
right,
because
right.
there's so many things that I feel like we are blue balled on.
Sure.
That
sure.
this is a nice, fun thing that they followed through on.
Exactly, and it's exactly in such a bloody episode, it gives it a little bit of levity.
Levity,
Yeah.
They should have put a Boone reference in it.
Oh
They
my
did.
god,
A little
right?
teaser
They did.
for Boone.
Did they?
Well, it wasn't a reference, but it was a direct. It was like a direct shot from Boone
Oh,
when
really?
he was. I remembered it because I remember Boone. But when he was climbing up on the roof and he stands there and he's like, "Yeah." That's straight from the Boone trailer.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
You just got booned.
But yeah, this whole film was awesome. Ricky Mundo comparing hanging out with him to hanging out with Jesus or Buddha.
But no, it's better.
But no, it's better.
It's better.
He looks at his license, remembers what his real last name is now, says it's way better.
Yeah.
We had Johnny Mundo on Xbox 12360 yesterday.
Oh, did you?
And
What
I asked
timing?
him, since the season and all the new people added to Worldwide Underground, he's like, what new people? And I was like, well, you got Ricky Mundo. He's like, he's not part of Worldwide Underground. He's my lackey. And I was like, well, you got Benji. He's like, he's just our manager. He's not part of it. He's like, you got to be top guys and girls to
Right,
be in Worldwide.
right,
I was
right.
like, oh, my bad.
We also got a lot of
I
great.
shouldn't assume this.
We
stuff.
got a lot of great physical comedy from Jack Evans in this film, as we have the whole season, due to his jaw having been wired shut,
Yeah.
I believe.
I love the way he wrestles.
Right.
I love it.
We talked about it a little because Jack Evans, coming from a legit breakdancing background,
Yeah.
moves so much differently than everyone else does.
It's like it's just happening.
Right.
Like it's just coming from him.
Well, and it makes sense that in a lot of his matches, he does that sort of drunken boxing, that sort of.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
going forward, and even the way that pardon me, but if you don't know this by now, then you're never gonna learn it. I don't know the names of moves, but when he did that thing,
I'm sure they know by now.
Well, if you don't, now you know. When he did that thing where he flipped into the ring, the way that he positions his legs, they're bent and pigeon,
Right.
and outward,
Right.
just it was
No, I get what you
breakdancing.
mean, for
Yeah,
sure.
he was just breakdancing. I love him.
Have you seen any Darby Allin stuff?
Yeah, no, I haven't actually.
Kind of reminds me of him.
Really?
Even though
Okay.
Jack's way before Darby.
Sure.
But Darby has that skate background, like Jack has the
Oh, interesting.
breakdancing
Okay.
background. So it's
Did you say dink?
Yeah.
Dink.
Sure.
Second
You said
time.
dink.
Second time.
Their bodies are just used to moving in certain ways.
Yeah,
right.
I
So
love
just
it.
Adapt.
So we've got this movie leading into the title versus career match, and Johnny Mundo, he makes that point, like, I'm kind of jealous of Pumbaa. What a great way to end a career, by losing to the best. I thought that was a great line. So
You're the best.
around.
Thanks, guys.
Sweep the leg, Johnny.
So we get into our original main event: Johnny Mundo versus Pumbaa, Lucha Underground title versus career.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think?
It was everything it could be for all the matches these guys
have
had
already
against
done.
each other.
And that's the thing. Like, for as straight up incredible as this match was, I think going on after that triple threat
So tough.
was a tough act to follow.
So tough. And, like, they're so fiercely athletic. Like, especially Pumbaa being able to fight for that long. Like,
Right.
get all the way out of town.
Right.
But... yeah, it was more. It was like, oh, a 6:30, like, oh, a 4:50, oh, cool.
We've been seeing him do
good.
it for 3 seasons, so
the Worldwide Underground.
the shine
came
is
in
kind
and,
of off. Yeah.
You know, it was a good match.
Right. It was great. No, I thought
was a great match.
It was a great match, but yeah. It was the triple threat match was so much of a spectacle that it was.
It didn't make me throw my headphones.
At any point, did you think Mundo was going to win and Pumbaa was going to...
Oh, for sure. Well, absolutely. We they got us for sure.
yeah.
Oh, they got me 100% because because we all like kind
We're
of
aware of
knew about
the wrestling world,
Yeah, exactly.
especially with this having been taped a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and also like, well, yeah, that's the hard part about it too, especially for the people on the show, is that it was taped a year and a half ago.
Right.
So like when you're speaking casually about these kinds of things, especially with people involved in the show and they say things casually, that, you know, you're like, oh, that's 6 months from now.
Right.
Like, I'll try to forget this.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, yeah.
Being at the show when it happened, I did forget a lot when
That's
it aired.
nice.
I was like, oh,
I bet,
forgot.
yeah.
Like the whole King Cuerno showing up at the end of that triple threat, I forgot all about that.
Right.
So when he went down and punched the ground and the lights went out, I was like, oh shit, what's happening? And then I remembered Matt Stryker referenced at the beginning of that match, like, oh, we haven't seen King Cuerno since Mill
Did he?
set him packing last
I'm
Ultima
glad I
Lucha.
didn't hear
I
that
know, me
because that
too,
would have
'cause-
100% ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, okay, now you bring it up.
Right.
Foreshadowing.
Well, and that's kind of the same reason that I sometimes hate the previously on segments
Yeah.
is because
Yeah.
like in the previously on segment of this episode they showed Black Lotus.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
that
they did.
why are we referencing her?
Exactly. And so I'm glad sometimes that I missed those. When I saw this at the theater on Tuesday, I had missed the whole previously on segment.
Yeah.
So that helped a lot in being surprised.
I was so bummed it didn't get to go.
I know.
Me too.
So yeah, thanks to the Lucha people for inviting me, but my
Yes.
dad had
Yes.
surgery, so I couldn't make it.
Yes,
Aw.
big
Yeah.
ups
How's he
to
doing?
Papa Jimbo.
Yeah, he's good.
Good.
He's handled it.
Good.
He's
Good.
a foot less. but-
And thank you to the Lucha Underground. What? Really?
yeah.
Holy shit.
So here, let's get into it. So my dad already is missing his right leg, and he just had his left foot amputated, so he's screwed if he ever has to do the hokey pokey.
Oh my god, that's so fun though. He will get to the front of every line.
It's a good way to look
That's a
at it.
good one. Silver lining, everybody.
Yeah. Tell your dad to call me if he ever wants to go to Universal. But
Yes.
also, yeah, thank you to the Lucha Underground people for inviting them, who then invited me, to which I had to decline.
Yeah.
Right.
So thank you. Thank you.
Season 4.
Oh,
We'll be at
yeah.
the temple.
Exactly.
You're gonna
Yeah,
take
Johnny
me though,
Mundo
right?
may have rumored yesterday on X-Pac that season 4 starts taping in January.
Who's
Well,
to say?
guess what-
Who's to say?
Guess
we
what my
also,
birthday is?
What?
Guess January.
Okay. The whole
There you
month
go.
of January?
All
Do you do
January.
that whole thing?
She's,
No, I'm not a birthday
she's
gal.
Doing it with TK Trinidad style.
Yeah, birthday season.
Birthday
No,
season.
no, I'm not a birthday gal. Just
didn't
give
know
me
if you
gifts
knew
all the
about
Yeah.
time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We co-hosted American Grit together.
Oh man, so you definitely know.
It was
about
during
birthday
the season. Yeah.
Oh god.
Um,
Not on an off season.
what?
What? You're talking
So
about seasons.
Puma
Yes, Puma.
What about
beats
him?
Mundo.
Right, he hits that huge like rocket launcher drop kick in the corner, hits the 630, wins the Lucha Underground title, very first 2-time champion in
So Does Mundo have to leave the temple?
No.
That's what I assumed.
It was only title versus career. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he only had the title on the line.
Unlike this next match that happens.
Right. So Poobah gets to celebrate for a hot minute. Dario Cueto hits the scene. He's back freshened up in his tux.
Looking good.
Looking very good.
That made me laugh so
Looking
Dressed
point.
for a funeral, some people might say.
Oh boy. Talk about foreshadowing.
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 Talk about foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. And Dario reveals that we've got one match left. Because last week's Gift of the Gods winner, Pentagon Dark, is cashing in his title for a shot at the new champion, Prince Poobah. And just to raise the stakes, he says it's not only for the Lucha Underground title, but it's for both men's careers.
Unreal.
Yep.
At that point, I knew Poobah was done.
Right.
Well,
at that point.
Yeah. I mean, going into it, I was like, how is he done?
Right.
Show me how.
And that's the thing, yeah. Like you watch like a James Bond movie, you know he's gonna come out on top in the end.
Yeah.
It's how do you get there?
I love spoilers. I really do.
I know you do.
I like
You've
spoilers.
spoiled many an episode this season.
Oh, yeah, and then you're like, come on. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Okay, honey.
Right, because you're terrible.
Yeah, whatever. Party, dude.
Speaking of spoilers,
ruin people's enjoyment. Party.
Steve Kaufman wanted us to apologize on his behalf.
Our boy, our beautiful boy, Steve Kaufman.
Speaking of spoilers. Oh.
Speaking of spoilers.
Oh my god.
So,
Spoiler alert!
Yes.
Steve Kaufman, if y'all don't know,
Not Steve in the booth.
not Steve in the booth, different Steve Kaufman. He of the Suits after show. He of various wrestling after shows. Did the UK tournament with myself and Mark Donica.
The pay-per-view after show.
Yes, exactly. You probably know him. Steve Kaufman got the chance to interview Pentagon at the time. I think he was still a Pentagon Junior.
2016 Comic-Con.
2016 San Diego Comic-Con. Interviewed him, and he the poor guy, he checked Wikipedia just to do his due diligence and found out that he was the current Lucha Underground champion, which
God.
in real time was factually accurate,
but
not in airtime, not in canon, not until this week was that true.
A whole year and a half later.
So Steve leads the interview with asking him what it's like to be the Lucha Underground champion. At which point,
his interpreter didn't tell him.
No, Pentagon and his interpreter look at Steve as if his arm were about to be snapped on the spot. So, there you go. So Steve, bless his heart, couldn't apologize lest he'd draw more attention to the spoiler.
Yeah.
So he's been sitting on that apology for about a year and a half now.
And that interview has like 20,000 views.
Yep, so people are not happy.
The comment section is so mean.
Yeah, it's with him letting the cat out of the bag, as it were.
Oh, man.
So, there you go. Steve, we, on behalf of Steve Kaufman, would like to apologize to anyone that had the result of this match ruined as a result of that interview.
If anyone wants to come
Wikipedia.
for Steve, you come for me. I can handle it. I like spoiling stuff.
So to that end, we get that match. Poobah gets his arm broken right off the bat.
Yeah.
And
R off the B.
R off the B.
Yeah.
C to the T.
Yeah.
Tries to wrap his arm up. Doesn't do a ton. Eventually gets hit with a sort of an almost like a catapult.
Oh yeah.
A package pile driver.
Like a swing.
Gives him he bounces back a little off the ropes.
Oh cool.
Hits him with that pile driver.
I was thinking about a different thing.
You were.
You were thinking
I know.
of his 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You know, I know it now.
No, you know.
And at the end, when he wins, I realized like it's been staring us in the face the entire season.
What's that?
The 3 down was like the logo for season.
Oh, for the
3.
whole season? Yeah.
I was like, oh, I thought that was just because it was season 3.
I think that is why.
Yeah,
I don't think it was all a big long
all
con.
this foreshadowing and leaving little breadcrumbs.
I don't think so.
That was like,
I think that was just because we happened to have a guy whose taunt involves 3 fingers.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
take it from me.
I did notice, like I was thinking about the evolution of Pentagon over the course of the seasons. I used to be so afraid of him. He used to be such an enigma. And now he's just a bro.
He was much more of a bony boy.
He came out and he was like, "What's good?"
He was like a spooky skeleton.
Yeah. And he was like gesturing to the
Part of
audience
it.
and they're like, "You." And he was like, "Me." Like he was just kind of, he was like, I'm not intimidated by him at all.
No.
Yeah.
People like him now.
He needs
We
to
forgot
tattoo
to
that
mention
makeup.
Vampiro saving.
Right.
saving
So.
him.
Oh, yeah.
That's what-
Puma's fatal flaw is the man who's been mentoring him this whole season, Vampiro, turning
You
his
just
back.
can't trust this guy.
You can't trust him.
It's almost like you can't trust this guy.
If you can't trust satanic popes, who can you trust?
Hey, don't bring Satan
don't
into
put it-
this.
Yeah.
Don't bring Satan into Vampiro.
That's what he looked like last
mistrustness.
season, or maybe the season
It was
before.
this season.
So Vampiro pulls Pentagon out of the way of Puma's 630. Eventually, he gets hit with a super kick, gets hit with a package pile driver, and Pentagon becomes the Lucha Underground champion. Finally, within a week, he wins both the Gift of the Gods title and the Lucha Underground title.
Great,
It's
so
got to be a
worthy.
record of some kind.
Right? What?
I don't know. I'm so like.
With
Why?
him? Really?
Why? Because everyone
awesome.
else likes him now.
Yeah.
I think so.
Right.
I think
He's
so.
not underground anymore. He's not Lucha Underground anymore.
No, I don't care about underground.
You're
Like
so
my
mainstream.
favorite wrestler is Mick Foley. I don't
Right,
care.
right.
But I don't know. I've just gone. I think he's boring now.
Interesting.
But no, he's fun. I think I don't like change, is what it is.
I see.
I don't like change, and I think he's like changed. He got all dark, and that was cool for me. And it took me a second because Pentagon Dark is a really dumb name.
Right. I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah, but so that took me a second, and so I was used to Pentagon Dark, and now we're like Pentagon Bro, and I need to get used to it.
Okay.
Like, he's still really good. Like, he's great. You know, he could definitely take me. For sure.
Sure.
And he's a champion.
Is that
respect
the
him.
litmus test? If they can take you.
Yeah, I gotta respect him. He's a champion. You
Sure.
have to respect the champion, and I'm a company man.
It's a rule.
I'm a company man.
Right. So, real quick, let's talk about all of the cool stuff that we saw happen at the end of this episode.
Holy.
The final batch of vignettes for season 3.
Holy foley.
Definitely delivered.
Let's run through everything that happened. So we see that thank you, Giles theme. We see Prince Poobah removing his mask, making his way out of the temple.
Bye, Pooms.
Following the light.
Did you guys think? I thought at one point we were gonna get a shot of his face.
I'm glad we didn't.
Right?
I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah.
Because he was such. Puma became his own thing.
Right. That mask is the face of Lucha Underground in a weird
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, and I almost feel like if they showed his face, it would make it seem like he was bigger than the show.
I see.
And I liked keeping
That's
it
a
in.
good point.
Yeah,
Sure,
you
sure.
know, he's not. Yeah, we'd all pop for Ricochet.
Right.
But it's not Ricochet.
Right.
What if they showed his face?
It's Rick
and it was
O'Shea.
Somebody else.
Ooh.
If
They
he
showed, like,
took off his
someone
mask,
else's
they
face.
swung around at someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but the first thing I thought of was like, it's Noam Dar. He's just like,
He just smells his breath in his hand.
The
like he
jacket
does.
all the way
Yeah.
up to his chin.
That's what I always think he does. I'm like, he's checking his breath. What is he doing?
he's just Eurotrash.
That's what it seems like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great way to
He's
that's
Eurotrash.
a great way to sum up that gimmick.
That's his gimmick. Yeah.
It's Grado.
We see we see Phoenix and Melissa Santos canoodling
Kiss.
in his car.
They do a kiss.
They kiss. They smooch.
They do a kiss.
But then Katrina, holding Mills' rock, chases after them. I guess as much as that could be called chasing.
And then Jeremiah Crane creepily watching from the what would you? The
I guess just
rooftop?
a
Yeah,
rooftop.
it was
Yeah.
a rooftop.
Yeah. We see Sexy Star doing a red carpet event,
So weird.
approached by a little girl who
Oh my
tells
god,
her,
it's so funny
Oh,
to see
princess, I love the little box.
Right,
It's so
right,
pretty.
right.
Thank you.
her. Oh, so beautiful.
little girl tells her she hasn't forgotten about you.
No.
At least we know it's a she now.
We know it's a she.
She,
Who do you think it is?
I don't
there a
know.
Black Widow?
It's Taya.
I don't know.
Is there a spider?
I don't think
luchadora?
I don't think there's anyone to do
Mexico?
with spiders. I don't think it's
they're-
Mariposa.
I think they're gonna come out. I think it's gonna be a debut situation.
Do you think?
Oh, it has to be.
Like they're gonna
Who else
take
would it
take an indie girl and just turn her into
Give her a
character.
spider gimmick?
Yeah, if it's not
Like Veneno?
like Veneno.
Veneno.
Veneno?
But what if she's just really like it's her gimmick? She just is really full because she drank everybody's blood. Like she's a big. Oh, thank you. Thank you for validating that bad idea.
Oh my god.
But that's what I saw in my head.
I see,
It
okay.
was just like a big bloated lady that was
Ew.
like. I'm
I'm imagining. I thought you were gonna say a big bloated like spider, like a
spider lady.
very grotesque like
Bizarre
like-
Charlotte.
what? Oh, Charlotte from Charlotte's Web.
Okay.
Oh, not Flair. No. Yeah, the Spider Woman.
Got it. So We saw a bunch of returns tonight. We saw King Cuerno.
Yeah.
We saw Angelico return. We didn't talk about that.
You didn't even put this on here.
What's that?
Because you didn't think it was important, but I think it's super important.
What's that?
The fact that
Also, the fans don't know what you're talking about.
I know. Nobody does. Not yet. The fact that the Rabbit Tribe isn't insane. The fact that they were like, you're the White Rabbit, and he's like, I'm not, but I know
I'll take
who
you to
is.
him, right?
They're not crazy.
And then,
Or he could just be messing with them.
And then
No, he's
Melo
not.
Suerte, is that checkers or no?
That's Saltador.
Saltador, he got a new suit. He's now stripes instead
Oh,
of
I didn't even
checkers.
notice
I
that.
didn't notice that either.
Yeah.
I was having too much fun.
What else? We
girls just
also,
wanna have fun.
like I said, we didn't touch on Angelico's return during the title match. He comes out to thwart the interference of the matching Neon Worldwide Underground, throws some bicycle knees, throws a big tope con hilo.
Hold on. The reason why it's not him misleading them, I'm talking about the White Rabbit situation, is because why would you put it in the season 3 ending vignette if it was just a little ruse?
The weirder things have definitely
A cunning
happened.
attempt to trick
It's
me.
important.
Right.
No, it's important. I promise.
He could just be like trying to get them to leave him alone.
Listen, I
like,
wrote
what
it.
if he just leads them into a trap?
Listen, I wrote this
What
show.
if he leads them into a death trap?
Oh, no.
It's a drop.
It's a trap.
At least it's something.
Right.
At least it's not just like, oh, well, that was funny.
I'm not saying like it's just gonna be like kaput, like that's the end.
I think that they're going to find the White Rabbit.
Interesting.
I think they have to.
I don't believe you.
They might. Well, I wrote the
Who
show,
would
so
you
maybe
cast
you
to
should
play
blame
the
me.
White Rabbit?
Probably me, probably. 100% probably me, I would say.
I would say Adam Rose.
There you go. There you go. That would actually be pretty dope. Let's talk about what's going on with the Reptile Tribe.
This was probably the best thing.
Because
maybe
this,
the best thing in this entire
totally
vignette.
threw me.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
the establishing shot of this scene is this sword dragging on the floor, like straight up pyramid head style,
Looking like He-Man.
Right. We find out that it's Daaga, who we had been told had been ripped apart by the Reptile Tribe.
By the Reptile Tribe.
Turns out he's back. Pindar is chained up on a table, gets beheaded by Daaga, who becomes the new king of the Reptile Tribe.
Why did he have to do that?
Drago
though?
did not look happy.
Right.
Oh, of course not. Why would
So
he have to do
now, well, what was interesting to me is that we didn't see Vibora anywhere in this segment.
that? Interesting.
Right?
Maybe he's too tall for the frame?
I'm sure they've shot tall people before.
I don't think so.
He's not like 12 feet tall.
No,
Is he,
no,
though?
I think he might be. Yeah, I think he might be 12 feet tall.
So
yeah,
I
that
was
interesting.
gun to my head. I would have never guessed that Daaga was returning in this
There's
episode.
so
And
many
if he
questions about this
and if he
vignette.
was, I wouldn't think. Why get rid of Pindar?
Right.
Pindar's the man. His gear is awesome.
His
He's a
massive
great
stroke.
base.
He has a
You
great
know?
base. He has a great base.
It just felt like a weird way to fire somebody. Like it didn't.
They're not necessarily. They could give him a new character.
What if he's
Well,
like
I
idle
mean-
hands and he just carries his head around? Or he's like monkey
no.
bone and he
Right.
just like tapes his
Duct
head back
tapes
on?
it.
It just felt like a gratuitous kill. Like I don't know why him killing. It's not like Vibora was the king.
You mean Pindar?
Pindar?
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe he
But
was.
like, I mean, there does need
Maybe
to be.
he was.
Maybe he was and we just didn't know.
There needs to be stakes sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't
Like some-
understand. The stakes weren't established, so it just kind of happened. If the stakes aren't established and you just proceed with a kill, then it's just a kill.
Right, but I mean, like, we were certainly surprised by
Oh, like
it.
it was a sacrifice.
And we're
is what
yeah,
you mean.
exactly.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We'll sacrifice something cute then.
He was cute.
You're
Did
right.
you see his little bug eyes?
You're right.
During that shot of his.
I thought at the end when his head
Decapitated
was
head?
cut off, it looked like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
He did.
head.
I can see that,
100%. Yeah,
for sure.
100%. I also really
Gilman.
appreciated that when they decapitated him, they like it wasn't a mask. It was a
Right, no, that is his
reptilian
head.
Yeah,
Right,
I
right.
dig that a lot.
Right.
Good for them.
Yeah, these men are not just people in reptile costumes. They are lizard men.
Yeah, Drago looked effing pissed.
Right.
Speaking
so
of lizard
pissed.
men, to go off on a tangent, did you read the story about Billy Corgan meeting a lizard person? It's
I'm
like-
sorry, no.
Check it out on Pro Wrestling Sheet.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking
What is
about?
Ryan setting up to
Yeah,
these
look it
days?
up.
What did he
Billy
do?
Corgan said he met a lizard person and like watched them transform. And,
Oh, okay.
Dude, it was
Well, all
crazy.
right then.
Okay, Billy.
All right then.
Sure.
But what ties does Daaga have that he could be a king in this tribe? Is
Well,
my
I mean-
question.
What has he been doing while we thought he was dead?
That's the question.
Maybe
What
he's
if he
just been
starts?
going down.
What if he starts getting scales?
She wifed him.
And he starts growing scales.
Could be. Could be.
Oh.
I mean, he did look very like Boy King. Like, didn't he look super bare?
Sure.
And in relation to in juxtaposition to the rest of the scene, which was so elaborate.
Right.
He was like a pure being.
Right.
So
that could be where they're going with it. Yeah,
I'm curious to see what that. Well, I mean, he had to murder a person.
Because her Cobra Moon being obsessed with him is how we were sort of introduced to her, wasn't it? Right?
Yeah,
Or
she
was
was creeping on all his matches.
Right.
He wasn't feeling it.
Wow.
We also saw King
I
Cuerno
forgot about
with the gauntlet that he just recently stole from Mil Mortes, displayed as if it were a trophy.
What makes me feel the way that it was displayed, I saw it as more of like a laboratory. I mean, it did look like a trophy. I understand that,
a
but
laboratory.
it seemed a laboratory, a Dexter's laboratory. It seemed like he was purposely kept away from it, as opposed to Cage, who was always wearing it immediately.
Interesting.
Like
Maybe he
was
knows the
separate.
power it
Well,
has.
it seemed like it did because he had it there, and there was another artifact, and I don't know what it was.
Well, that's his trophy room
cool.
because he's a hunter.
Oh, that makes a lot.
He tips his hat.
Like
But-
this.
But that also makes me think that that'll keep the power safe.
Right.
That's good.
Because that's the
Good
thing.
for
Yeah,
him.
he's not necessarily interested in trying to channel a god like the three people
No.
in that match were. He just wants to display it as a trophy for one of his hunts.
You noticed the Aztec seal on it?
Yeah.
That looked
Very
badass.
cool.
And it made me think, why don't they have those for sale?
Right.
Why isn't Lucha Underground killing it in the Halloween game right now with costumes?
I agree. I agree for sure.
Murder it right
my
now.
God.
Let's talk about the last installment of this story between Dario and the Order with Agent Winter, played by Godfrey. They share
don't
they
want
sh- they
to.
share a drink. They share a drink. Dario apologizes for losing the gauntlet. Agent Winter says, "You know what? It's fine. You get a pass because you're gonna be dead." And then plugs him full of lead. It was a fatality, or it may have been.
I don't even want to hear it.
So when he's holding the bull, I was sketched out.
I thought he was
Because
gonna
I thought
kill
he was
him.
going to kill Winter with it.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
interesting.
Well, I 100% thought that's what that was.
No, I thought that Winter was going to shoot him, but the bullet was going to hit the bull and not be lethal.
That's good.
Either way, there was a death going to happen. Like, you have the bull, the death is going to happen.
Right.
But
it's Chekhov's bull.
I did not see this coming.
Right.
No.
And he
not
has to
at
come
all.
back.
So Agent Winter shoots Dario for bungling the gauntlet scenario and the other things, and Dario reaches over to his red rotary phone, his Batman like emergency phone
That he never uses.
that he never
It's the
uses.
First time
But I read a very perceptive comment on Uproxx today that this wouldn't have happened if Dario hadn't thrown away his cell phone because Benji Cook wouldn't stop calling him.
he wouldn't have gotten shot,
He threw away his cell phone.
but he still would have gotten shot.
I don't know if the
Right,
red
but he-
phone and
but
the
he could
cell
have
phone.
called-
Called him a lot faster.
Help a lot quicker.
But
I don't know if the red phone and the cell phone go to the same people.
I think the red phone.
That's true.
Do you remember when we first were talking about the red phone and we all assumed that it was to his mother? It was like a.
God, I don't remember that.
We were. I remember it very distinctly because when he picked up the red phone, I like looked at you to like for that face of recognition, and I did not receive it.
Road.
But we talked about how that phone, whenever they were talking about his mother and whenever they were talking about his family or death, it would like bull phone. It would like pan to the phone.
I see.
So I was like, well, maybe it's a portal to another side.
Interesting.
So but also maybe I am holding on to false hope because he can't be dead.
Well, he dials the phone and he's calling his papa.
Papa.
Is that what he says?
He says papa. Apparently the caption screwed
That's
up.
so sad.
Apparently the caption screwed up and said Puma, which confused a lot of people online.
that's funny.
Krista Joseph had to tweet about it and say that they were wrong. But he says papa, and you can hear his papa on the other line screaming, "Hijo, hijo," as Dario is bleeding out
Oh,
in his
God.
office.
Oh, when we see the muzzle flares, but it's from the outside of the door, I thought it was going to end right there.
With I see, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we didn't see the body. He's not dead.
Right.
And then they go back in, and he's bleeding, and he does a whole phone call and all that. And I'm like, no.
right. So
He can't die.
He calls his papa.
Die.
He isn't able to tell him anything. There's blood all over the office.
He says something.
Oh my God.
He says one thing.
He says papa.
Oh, is that all he
Yeah,
said?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
What if Katrina walks back?
Or no, I think he did say something after
said
that, but I
something in
couldn't tell.
Spanish.
I couldn't tell what it was. Yeah.
Season 4 starts with Katrina walking back in that office and using the stone to bring him back to life.
Please
Oh, could
bring
be,
him back.
could be. So before we don't have too much time, but we
Please.
also got to talk about Vampiro and his new master,
What the hell?
whoever the hell that is.
Baphomet?
Right.
His new master, Satan.
Satan. Just shoot Satan.
Oh my God. We've summoned him. We've got the budget.
So what a season finale.
Wait, so he betrayed Puma because he was supposed to put Pentagon Dark in to get the whatever to get the title so he could bring him down.
Right, exactly.
So Baphomet could bring him
whoever
down.
this new master is, yes, Baphomet is hell bent on taking Pentagon
Is that his
down.
name, or is
There
that
you go.
what you're calling
No, that's just what we're calling
Baphomet.
him.
This is Baphomet.
So
that the
yes, so
infamous picture with
that's
the-
our season,
Yeah, okay.
guys. That's season 3. We don't. I mean, we're obviously hopeful. We're optimistic. There's no official word on season 4.
Yeah, rumor has
so
it it's starting in January.
hopefully that is a thing. But if not, we want to thank you so much for joining us these last 2 seasons. It's been so much fun talking about this show, talking about all of the wild and ridiculous antics in the temple. Yes, we're gonna go out with some more MCR. Guys, one last time, tell them where they can find you.
Find me on Twitter at Jimbo in the Booth. Check out XPAC12360 and listen to our interview with Johnny Mundo, among many other great guests.
Rachel, where can they find you?
So long.
Rachel!
And good
Rachel!
night. You can find me at Rachel Sam Evans or Rachel Sam Fans. Honestly, it does truly depend on how your brain works. Twitter and Instagram and also Snapchat. You can find me https://youtube.com/snarled or Slatrix if you want to watch me do stuff. I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
Dude, that was the best one you've done.
One last time. Remember, if you're on
High five
iTunes,
that.
download, comment, review, subscribe, rate 5 stars if you're nasty. If you're on YouTube, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. Find me on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. That's Twitter, Instagram, PlayStation Network. Play some Overwatch with me, Halloween Terror. This is my last episode of this show. I don't have any other shows going on. I may not for a while, so if I don't see you guys, thank you so much for joining us. This has been so much goddamn fun.
Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Watch it there.
Check out Championship Wrestling from Hollywood every Saturday. Check your local listings. Thank you guys so much. We love you. We love the show. We love pro wrestling. Come join us for season 4. Let's will it into existence. But until that time, Viva la Lucha!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.